Okay. Well, trying to work on the lighting. Not trying to blind anybody here. Um, well, hello everybody. Hello one person, two people. Um, Trying not to blind anybody here with this lighting. Just kind of in a temporary situation, as you can probably guess. But anyway, I just wanted to do this Q&A live stream and kind of just jump back into the groove of YouTube. It's been a bit. So I just want to see if I sound okay. I want to see first if I sound okay. It looks like Figure Out Films is here. Welcome. Hopefully I can sound okay here. Just wanted to check on that. But, oh, Ronnie's here. Hello. Yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to begin this live stream here. Sounds okay. I sound good. Okay, that's good. That's good. But anyway, this is a long time coming. Here, what I've been wanting to try to do. I meant to do a Q&A live stream at the end of July, kind of early part of August, but life has definitely been a little bit of a mess right now. I have been dealing with a lot of different things going on in the world. Literally, just last Thursday, or a couple days ago, my car battery died and my plumbing stopped working. So like, just a combination of just boom, boom, boom. My house gets hit by a tree, and then it just keeps going. So anyway, there's a million things going on. So I live in a very chaotic house now. This is actually my living room right now. You can kind of see my kitchen over there. It's There's actually two shelves behind this one. This is just what all was in my Criterion closet. Pretty much, this is all that's here, all on one shelf. But yeah, it's been a strange bit of time. So it's really thrown me off having to deal with all this chaos just around me. So if this looks unfamiliar, it's because normally we do not film in here at all. My room that is normally filming here is usually it's where we film things, but it is complete disarray right now. It's almost being rebuilt, so it's almost done. So at least the interior is. My roof is still not touched yet, which is really sad. But that's insurance for you. So anyway, I'm going to say hi to everybody real quick before we jump into all this stuff. Figure Out Films live from Nathan's closet. Yes, my giant closet that is my living room. Looks like Chris is here. Evening. Everything is looking well. Thank you. Thank you. My buddy Sam is here as well. Hey, it's a guy I know. Yeah, I know. I was gonna say I know you two blokes right there. I've seen you guys in person too. Mary says hello. Hello, Mary. It's a long time no talk to. We were just over on Dave's and Steph's live chat that they have every Saturday. So if any of you are not familiar with that, go figure out and find Cinema Dave and go watch the live stream with him and Movie Chatter. So it's a lot of fun. Old friends of mine. Anyway, SJS is here as well. Hello, Nathan and all. Yes, hello. And geez, hope all the bad stuff is behind you. I appreciate that. I hope so. September is a new month now, so cheers to that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a cheers. I'm going to have a beer here real quick as we're doing this. So I have a nice thing in store for everybody. So just hold on one second. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, it's my Mastodon shirt. So it's my Mastodon tattoo shirt. I really like it. I got this the other day. So at least there's that. So today, there's going to be a couple things I wanted to talk to you guys about. There's going to be giveaways throughout the entire show. I actually even have questions prepared for people to answer in the chat. So whoever answers these things first will get these prizes. So that's going to be fun. We're going to be doing that throughout the live stream as we're just going on through things. And then I also just wanted to kind of just do a live Q&A. And then also I have a big pile of films that I've been watching for like the last part of July all through August. And so that's exactly what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. So let's jump into kind of some of those things I've been watching lately. Feel free to jump in and join in the conversation and start asking me questions, and I'll go off on different rants here too. But just a real quick, first thing I wanted to talk about is a 4K that I picked up. Is the Green Planet. So, Attenborough, of course, which everyone knows, the Blue Planet and Planet Earth. This is it's a new series, I guess, that came out a couple years ago. 5 episodes, really good. I love this kind of stuff, and it honestly is fantastic just to see in 4K. This is what 4K is meant for, is documentaries like this. Honestly, that's what I love about this. I got this for like $20. It was on sale, so it was a really good deal to get a series like this for such a good price on 4K. So if you haven't seen The Green Planet or have heard of it, definitely recommend all of the kind of the BBC documentaries. This is really great stuff. So if you don't enjoy that kind of stuff, it's very enlightening to what's going on in the world, which obviously I'm sure a lot of us right now, we're feeling a lot of heat right now, like physically, because there's a lot going on. Yeah. So anyway, not going into that topic. So it looks like Fish is here as well. Hello, my dear friend. Hey, everyone. I'm on my way to work. Thank you, Fish. I know that you were on your way to work, so I wanted to make sure that you could stop by for a second. So that's great. Yeah, so feel free, like I said, for anyone who's joining into this conversation right now, feel free to ask me some questions in the comment section, in the live chat here. It's so weird doing live streams. I don't normally do it. Next, I want to jump in while we're waiting for questions. I'm going to jump into some criterions that I've watched for the last month and a half or so. I want to start first with Targets with Boris Karloff. Oh my gosh, what a fantastic film. I did not expect this movie to be as good as it was. This is from 1968. It's pretty much the old Hollywood meets the new Hollywood. There's two divulging stories going on at the same time, one with the family and the other one with Boris Karloff. And yeah, it's a crazy story. They seem unrelated for a while until they kind of come together. And I'm not going to explain too much of it. This is definitely a movie to watch. If you've not seen Targets, I highly recommend it. It's something that's it's a very surprising movie. I really love it. There's something amiss going on. You can kind of just tell by the cover itself. But I really highly recommend Targets. I think it's coming out to the BFI later this year too. Correct me if I'm wrong, my friends in the UK. But it's definitely getting something here in the Criterion. So it's a great release. I highly recommend Targets for people. So next we have a film that I've actually been wanting to get for a long time. You can already see it. It's Frankenheimer's Seconds right here. So it's a science fiction Rock Hudson film, and I'm really excited to talk about this because I've been wanting this movie for the longest time. It always looked a little bit like a weird cover, but it's always been on my queue for the longest time. So I finally picked it up. What a crazy looking movie. I love the camera angles and the paranoia that's going on in this movie. It definitely captures the 1960s, which is when this came out, very well. And a lot of the things that are happening around this time period in a very crazy way. Another movie that honestly is an experience more so than a description of what I can describe a plot for you. I think it's definitely a visual film. It's one of those fun 60s sci-fi films that I think a lot of people would really like. So okay, so jumping back into the chat, it looks like let's see, we got Figure Out Films, Mastodon, got to be one of my favorite new metal bands. Hilarious. Anyway, let's see. Ronnie says, have you bought anything from the Vinegar Syndrome warehouse sale? I have not. In fact, actually, this you're going to catch me out here real quick. I have not bought anything in 3 weeks, which is really crazy. A lot of things, like I said, life's been happening. I just can't afford buying movies right now. So yeah, so I'm trying to watch as many as I can and save on that as much as I can. So we'll see how long that lasts. Looks like Film Blogger Sam's it's coming out this month. Okay, so from Chris is what he said for Targets for people. And then Film Blogger Sam says most anticipated upcoming release. That's difficult because, like I just had mentioned, I have not been thinking too much about things coming out soon. I am excited for that Arrow box set for the Psycho films. I've only seen the first Psycho. So that's exciting to check out. I'm really excited about that. I also need to pre-order that Hellraiser box set from Arrow. So that's definitely needs to be done. And I need to see some Gene Rollin films, which I know that my friend groups are talking about an indicator. So, but to jump into more films I've been watching, I picked up the 4K of After Hours, which I've been wanting to watch for the longest time, and another really great kind of late one night. It's just one whole night into the morning kind of just paranoia thing going on with our main character, just seeing what the hell's going on with him. There's just so many things going on in this movie. But this movie is from 1985. It's one that's just not really talked about until like recently. Of course, there's a lot of people who are big fans of Scorsese. And so I was really excited to finally watch this and get this film. I definitely recommend it for a lot of people. It's really, really fun. So, so I think it's time to get into our first giveaway. Okay. So I have a question for all of you. So if you're watching, be sure to be prepared to watch this. So this is for a little digital download of, and I'm sure a lot of you already have this, but who cares? This is for the digital download of 1917. So if you get this, this is the question for 1917. So, and then I will be sending you, I'll email you, not email, either Instagram or something like that. I'll give you the code. So the first question is, named for a landmark in San Antonio, which theater chain does not allow talking or texting during movies, which was founded in 1997? All right. We'll see who decides to figure this out first. So I'm going to repeat the question. Named for a landmark in San Antonio, which theater chain does not allow talking or texting during movies, which was founded in 1997? It looks like Sam got it. So it's Alamo Drafthouse for people. So looks like, Sam, I'm sure you have 1917, but I'm sure I'll give you something sometime. So, so anyway, we're still going to give this code away regardless. So even if Sam doesn't want it. Looks like Ronnie says, life unfortunately has come before Blu-rays. Yes. Yeah. My life is really messed up right now, so I cannot do that. So anyway, Davey's here. My friend Davey. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Davey's Flicks and Picks. Evening. Looks like GA is here. Yeah, I recognize you from from the live stream I was just in with Dave and Steph. Welcome. Looks like he's given to someone else, is what film blogger Sam said. Okay, so whoever wants this is a free for all right here. So be sure to take a screenshot. Okay, 1917. Here we go. It's probably really hard to see, but I'll just type it in the thing, and whoever wants to pick it up at the end, I'll do that. So. But anyway, yeah, 1917. Take a screenshot if you can, or something like that. But that's 1917. Okay, so we're going back here. Mary says hello, and then lovely basement in the Alamo. And indeed, it looks like Gray's here. Mike, how you doing, man? Hey, let's grab some beer and let's continue with what we've been watching. Okay, so what I've been watching for the month. A lot of rewatches, a lot of first-time watches. I'll just jump into a bunch of 4Ks that I watched recently. So, okay, first is a first-time watch. It's The Taking of Pelham 123, which is a really fantastic thriller movie that I had a really fun time with. Love that cover, first of all. Love that original poster artwork. And Kino Lorber's been killing it on 4Ks in general. So I'm really excited that I was finally able to watch this movie, and there was a lot of suspense. A very raw film as well. It felt like just a lot of things were going on at the same time in this subway car, and it definitely seemed like these guys weren't really thinking much of these things through. It's a really fun film, and I see a lot of people here talking about it. It's just a fun movie, and I highly recommend it, especially for its time periods. It's the 70s to a T. It's just a really fun movie, and I honestly need to see all the special features. There's quite a bit actually that Kino put out with it. So yeah, very excited about that. Mathau and Shaw are fantastic in this movie. Yeah, what a film! What a film! Looks like the comment sections. GA says Robert Shaw. Closing shot of Pelham is one of the best. Yes, it is. Achoo. I love the sneeze. Yeah, I love that closing shot. That is. But yeah, if anyone hasn't seen it, definitely you'll have a good little giggle with that closing shot. Next is a movie that you're going to be disappointed in, going from that classic to this terrible movie that I just kind of bought for $3, and I'm just like, I'm going to watch it. I haven't seen it in a couple years. I'm talking about The Great Wall with Matt Damon, which is not a great movie at all. So if anyone's leaving this live stream, I completely understand. But anyway, it's an interesting film. It's got Pedro Pascal in it. It's got Willem Dafoe in it, and it's directed by Zhang Yimou, who I'm a big fan of. I still have not watched the Zhang Yimou and Gong Li set, but I definitely need to see that. But yeah, this has got a great cast in it, which is just a weird movie in general, but it's a very beautiful film, and that's what Zhang Yimou's films are. They're just always gorgeous. They're very color coordinated, and that's honestly my appeal for this. Other than that, it's not a good movie. Just want to let everyone know, but it's fun. I paid $3, so. And Davey says pay $3 and it was $4 too much. Indeed. And then GA says missed Great Wall. That's true. I did miss it there. Okay, we're continuing down the 4K rabbit hole. Next is another first time watch. It's how do I say this? Croupier. I know it's the the card counter, right? It's Clive Owen. It's the Arrow 4K of it. Now I did watch this kind of not that long ago, but at the same time it was kind of it's not fully in my head. I need to watch it again. It's definitely a really fun film from the late 90s. And just seeing Clive Owen in general is always a fun time. And Croupier. Anyway, I'm gonna mispronounce it as million times as possible. I'm sure I know what it actually sounds like. I'm just on live stream and I'm on blast, so that's exactly what it feels like. But it's a fun film. It's got a lot of extra features on here, and I'm excited about this one. Yeah, so I'm gonna watch this again probably to capture it a little bit more. Next is a classic, which I haven't seen in quite some time here. And it's Reservoir Dogs on 4K. Obviously, this has actually been a pretty cheap 4K for the longest time, but it is a gorgeous 4K. It looks fantastic. And I haven't seen this movie probably in 5 or 6 years. So it's been a while since I've seen it, but I really love the dialogue in this movie. Of course, that's what Quentin Tarantino does best. It's his debut film. If you consider that with True Romance, obviously, with him writing that. But regardless, fun film, really great to see in 4K. I think they did a really fantastic job of, putting this back out in the 4K with the HDR and whatnot. So, yeah, it's a really great film. Of course, a lot of people have seen it. Definitely watch Reservoir Dogs if you've not seen it. I need to watch Pulp Fiction soon. I just got that 4K not that long ago as well, so it'll be a fun rewatch to check out. So there's that. Looks like KB's here. So hello. Was Clive's He's the Next Bond film still playing it into it with that cover? Yeah, he's trying to be the Bond, right? KB's here. GA says, I think I saw that when it was released. Clive was supposed to be the next big thing. I still like Clive Owen quite a bit. I mean, I really love King Arthur from when I was a kid. I grew up with that film. I know it's not the greatest movie ever, but of course, Shoulder to Men is probably the best thing he's done. And that movie is just fantastic. So yeah, there's just a lot going on. Looks like Skolder's here. Hello. Davey says Reservoir Dogs holds up. QT could do a 90-minute. I honestly would love 90-minute movies. That's the new runtime. I know a lot of people think the same thing. Next, I want to talk about is the 4K of Nobody. This is a movie that I didn't expect. I didn't really want to watch it when it was putting out in theaters, but I just recently watched this for the first time, and I was actually really surprised. This was a lot of fun. It was a really great kind of John Wick-esque type of film where. But it turned into a completely different thing because apparently this person right here is somebody who has a past, of course, and he got somebody fucked with him that shouldn't have, and then they kind of just opened up a can, and that's exactly what Nobody is him chasing those people down and getting attacked left and right. But it's a really, really fun movie. And I definitely recommend people watch this movie because Bob Odenkirk is just honestly surprisingly a really great serious actor. I just really like him in this movie. And I think everyone should check this movie out. It's really fun. Let's see. Davey says Bob Odenkirk and John Wick casting. Maybe. K-Ben's here. Hey, man. Glad you are still among the living. Prayers and always, if you need a vent, definitely need a vent. Okay, so it's time for another giveaway. All right, so the next question I have, so for people who are just joining in, I've been doing giveaways. This is the second one, actually. I'll have a question, and I'm going to be saying it, and then in the chat, whoever gets that will get this little digital download. This one is for Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. So any of you Marvel fans out there, I actually really like this movie. I love Sam Raimi, and I think his like footprint is all over this. So if anyone needs this, be sure to get ready to answer this question real quick. All right. So the question is, what was the first comedy to win Best Picture Oscar? And then give me the year as well, if you can. So first comedy to win Best Picture Oscar, and what year? And then we'll jump into whoever wants this Multiverse of Madness digital download. So it looks like, let's see, everyone's just talking to each other, which is great. I love that. I'll wait in here. Okay, You Can't Take It With You is not the correct answer, but you're really close. 1938. You're really close, but I'm still continuing. I'm waiting to hear from other people real quick, and then we'll jump into this. What was the first comedy? Oh, Davey got it. It happened one night. What year was it? Wings would be fun though, right? I don't know if it's considered is it considered a comedy? I know that was when like things were split, right? But officially, I think it's Davey. 1 year off, Mary. You're really close. Oh, there you go. Steve got it. All right. Everyone's just giving me different years for no reason. So it's really fun. It's all 1935, 34, 38, 34. Yes, 1934. So it looks like Davey got it first. Davey, do you want Multiverse of Madness? If not, I'm going to give it to Steve since he said 1934. Don't send it. I don't, by the way, screen it. Let's see. So it looks like everyone, this is failing. Apparently nobody wants these giveaways. And so, Steve, do you want this Multiverse of Madness thing? I can make sure to give it to you real quick. And we're continuing with this. Looks like Dave is here. Hey man, and I enjoyed your live stream with Steph. It was always fun. Yeah, okay. So Steve, I will give it to you. Just make sure to message me on Instagram if you can, and we'll get that going. So let's continue down the rabbit hole of what I've been watching. First, another 4K, The Virgin Suicides from Criterion. Now, I did see this nearly a month and a half ago, so it's been a bit since. But this is Sofia Coppola's debut film. Really, really love this movie. I was very surprised by it. I was actually kind of blown away by it, and this is really close to like a 4.5, 5-star film. Honestly, there's a lot going on for it. I really enjoyed. Just the subject material was really interesting because it's something that I can't fathom myself, of course. Being a guy, but I think this is a really great film that I think a lot of people need to check out if they've not seen it. I've been avoiding it for a long time. I don't know why. But eventually I was able to finally pick it up. And I had a really good time, and I'm excited to dive deeper into it. It's got a really great score in it. Kristen Dunst does a really fantastic job in it. I really, really love this film. It's a terrific film. And I'm seconding Davey here with the terrific cast, and it's great stuff. Continuing with that, this is actually the Chris and Sam and Elliot have a lot to do with this film. So this is a film from Vinegar Syndrome. It is Tough Guys Don't Dance. This movie is absolutely batshit crazy. And I don't know if I recommend this movie per se. You have to be a very particular person to watch this movie. But man, oh man, what is this movie? Okay, here's what the critics are raving. Just want to let you know. Bold, innovative, wonderful. Next one, stinks. Giant death orgy with lots of maniacs. One of the worst ever. My grandmother could do better. Excellent, crazy entertainment. Very funny. Gross, sleazy garbage. Quick turns. A plot enjoyed having to think. Whoever wrote this has never read a good book. So that is exactly what film blogger Sam said. It's a low-key masterpiece. No bull. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. That's indeed. If you have not seen this movie, look into it a little bit. I want to start peddling this stuff, as Steph is saying. I'm selling this thing, so I'm peddling you this terrible movie. So go pick it up and then hate me and unsubscribe to me if you hate it. But Ryan O'Neal's in it, and Isabel Rossellini, who is just fantastic as well. I really love I love this cast. This is a crazy film. Go watch it. It's a crazy murder story. There's tattoos in it as well. Like how I have it. So Anyway, jumping back into the chat, movie chatters here. Steph, hello. Norman Mailer never read a good book, usually. Unreal. Yes, very true. That's very good beer. Okay, now we're going to go into some comedies. Okay, so these are mostly all movies that I've seen plenty of times. And that's pretty much what this is going to be. So I know a lot about these movies, and they're a lot of fun. First up, Big Trouble in Little China. I showed my friend this for the first time about a couple weeks ago back, and he had an absolute blast, and so did I, because of course I've seen this about 6 or 7 times. This movie has Jack Burton, Kurt Russell's one of his most infamous characters, which is just so much fun. I was able to see this at the Alamo Drafthouse, actually, which was, one of my questions I asked about earlier, in a movie party, and that was one of the most fun movies I ever got to see in the theater. And so, speaking of Alamo Drafthouse, I'm actually going on Monday for Labor Day. I'm going to see 2001: A Space Odyssey, which I've never seen in the theater, and so I'm very, very excited about that. So, if you've not seen Big Trouble in Little China, oh my God, you're missing out. It's so much fun. Great edition from Scream Factory here. I'm sure it'll get a 4K eventually. We're going to skip that one to the end. I don't know why, but I had this on for some reason. I wanted to watch Wayne's World 2, and I have the French Canadian one too, Le Monde Selon Wayne 2, right? I probably butchered that, beyond death. But yeah, Wayne's World 2, fun film. Christopher Walken. Need I say more? Ask Sphincter says what? Go ahead. Somebody say what in the comment section. Anyway, next movie I watched was, I'm just gonna do a double duo here. If you don't know this already, I'm a big Adam Sandler fan. I gotta watch, or you gotta rewatch Billy Madison at least 5 times a year. It's one of my favorite movies. I know I'm gonna lose a lot of people here, but I do not care. It's very, very good. I love this so much. And then Waterboy, a lot of fun. If you hate these movies, I understand, but I also think you're wrong. So there's that. So that's the some rewatches that I'm sure I'll be watching Billy Madison at least 2 more times this year. I know it. That's exactly how it's going to happen. No comment from Davey. I know he doesn't care for it, and that's totally fine. But you're wrong. Movie chatter, I'm going back here a little bit. Yay for tattoos. Yes, tattoos. They're all around. They're expensive, but I love them to death. It looks like, GA says John Carpenter, Gonzo martial arts. Absolutely. So much fun. Will the 2001 screening be in 70 millimeter? I don't think it will be. It's not like an IMAX experience, nor is it, I think it'll just be 35 millimeter. I'd have to be certain. Alamo's doing a whole month of Kubrick here in Springfield, where I'm at, and so they're doing it different days for all of the Kubrick films. So, and this is just one I had a day off. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go watch this. I'd like to see Barry Lyndon at the theater too. This is for Elliot, so if he's around, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anywho, Busher Beyond Death, great band name. Yeah, it's actually my band in high school. A lot of fun. Caveman says R.I.P. Bob Barker. Yeah, that's a little bit of Happy Gilmore tie-in there. Adam Sandler tie-in. Yeah, R.I.P. him and Jimmy Buffett. He's having cheeseburgers in paradise right now. Not to make light of the situation. But anywho, moving on to another film that I watched multiple times over and over and over again. Popstar, Never Stop Stopping. This movie, I don't know when this came out and how it always surprises me how much I love this movie. It's The Lonely Island, which I do love, Andy Samberg and company quite a bit. So, of course, I'm going to really like this movie. It's just so much fun, and it's outrageous, and I just laugh every single time. Tim Meadows is fantastic in this movie, too. A lot of really great cameos as well. JT's in it as well. Justin Timberlake, one of his best performances, I would say. All right, a couple more films, then we'll jump into another giveaway with another question. Next one I want to talk about is technically not a comedy. It kind of is. It's like an indie comedy drama of sorts. It's one that I hadn't seen in a long time. I actually just recently picked it up because it's been hard to find Blu-ray for some reason, and that's Safety Not Guaranteed. right here, which is I'm trying to think which label this is. Anyway, it's just a Sony film, not a Sony's Pictures Classic, which I thought it was, but really fun early Aubrey Plaza film. Mark Duplass is always fantastic. I really love him. And then Jake Johnson's really fun into it as well. He's kind of the background character in it, but it's a fun film about a guy who's kind of gone crazy and is trying to invent a time machine. It's really fun. It's one of those things where it's one of those quirky comedies from the late 2000s, early 2010s that isn't really made as much anymore. And I really love films like this. So definitely need people to watch more stuff like this. I don't know if you can get this Blu-ray very easily. I'm sure you can get it through Amazon or something. But it's a fun movie, and I definitely recommend it. Then a couple more movies here. One is a rewatch that I've had a million times. It's going to fall over if I keep doing that. It's Spaceballs, baby. It's on 4K. I finally got the 4K from Kino Lorber. Don't have the slipcover, unfortunately. What are you going to do? Slipcover nation for everybody who's just a huge slipcover fan, right? I just love this film, and it's all about the merchandising. So that's the reason why I love Spaceballs so much. And then, of course, Lone Star. There's just so many things going on in this movie that it's got a great cast. It's got a great sensibility to it. And Mel Brooks is just one of my favorite, directors in comedy, period, which I know he makes sleazy films, but Young Frankenstein's, Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs, Robin Hood Men in Tights. I mean, these are really freaking fantastic movies. I really like them a lot. At least a couple of them are probably fantastic in terms of things. But anywho, going back to the comment section, Jelly, that I'm going to Alamo. Thanks, Steph. I wish you could come along, honestly. I wish you guys had an Alamo over on the East Coast, really. GA says, don't hate him. I really like Uncut Gems and Punch Drunk Love, as do I. Adam Sandler is a really good serious actor as well. He's in a lot of really good movies like that. I'd even say Hustle, if anyone hasn't seen that. If you like basketball, Hustle's a fantastic movie to check out with him in it. He's really good in that too. Good one. Bob kicked ass. Yeah, he did. Price is Wrong, bitch. So, and plenty of Margaritavilles and margaritas in Margaritaville for sure. Talking about Aubrey Plaza love from everybody. Nakatomi Plaza. Let's see. There you go again. Let's see. May the Schwartz be with you. And it is crazy that Mel Brooks is still alive, isn't it? That's wild that he's still around. And then Ronnie says, hasn't seen Spaceballs since I was a kid. Need to rewatch. Yes, you do. Try to watch that, at least a couple times every year or every other year or something. And then the next comedy I'm going to mention here real quick, and then we'll jump into a giveaway, is UHF. And for the longest time, I had no idea that Weird Al made a movie. Literally this year. This is how I discovered this movie this year, which is just insane. Because I had no idea that this existed, first of all. Shout Factory put this out. Yeah, this is the Shout Factory edition. I don't know why it didn't happen. I was actually with my tattoo artist, and he was talking about it a little bit, and I was like, what? There's a Weird Al movie? He made a movie? And then he's like, oh yeah, you'd love it. All the aforementioned things I just mentioned with, Adam Sandler and company. Of course, I would love UHF, and I watched it, and I had an absolute great time, just with all these different bits like Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park. It's just so much fun. It's like Weird Al is trying to do some kind of Monty Python thing here going on. And I really love it. So it's really, really fun. Cinema Dave says High Anxiety is good too. Yes, that's a good one. Definitely making fun of Vertigo, right? Hitchcock in general. And then Davey says, love UHF. Michael Richards is hilarious. He was indeed in that. Okay, so another giveaway. This one for another film that a lot of people have probably, but I don't care. And I love this movie. It's Predator. If anyone doesn't have Predator, I'm sure you guys do, but this is going to be the next question for you. So, and if anything, if I'm going to start just doing a lot of giveaways in general, I have a lot of, digital downloads I want to give away anyway. So be prepared for this next question real quick. So here's the third question. What was Spencer Tracy's last role? And what year did that happen? What was Spencer Tracy's last role? And what year did that happen? Let's see. I'll have a beer break as everyone's doing this. Spencer Tracy, last role. Okay, Ben says I recommend Ice Pirates if you've never seen it. I do want to see that movie. I've been wanting to watch it. Everyone's curious what I'm drinking as we're waiting. Davies gave somebody saying guess who's coming to dinner. Anyone's curious, the beer I'm drinking is a Sunshine Chugsuckle from Mother's, which is a local beer brewery here that I really, really love. This beer is going away, though, because it's the summertime is over, as you can tell by the live stream title, right? Here we're getting to Oktoberfest, which Oktoberfest is good, too. Somebody copy Dave's thing, because Davey doesn't want Predator, so... But anyway, as we continue with this, let's talk about more films that I've been watching. I've also been in a huge horror mood lately, and I've been wanting to watch a lot of horror movies. And of course, now that the fall is coming, it's going to be, I'm going to be watching a lot more of this. And a lot of these movies are actually first-time watches. Some of them are just rewatches. Some that I've been meaning to get to for a long time. So let's talk about those first two things we're meaning to get to for a bit. It's the last two movies in the Halloween trilogy, which I know is very contentious for a lot of people. But Halloween Kills and then Halloween Ends, which, first of all, contentious that I have a slipcover and one doesn't. Ooh, really bad stuff, right? To be honest, it's a little bit forgettable. I watched these movies and it kind of blended in together a little bit. Obviously, it's happening kind of around the same time period, of course. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's fun. I really enjoyed actually the first Halloween setup of the beginning of this trilogy, but the other two ones are just a little bit lackluster. I know that a lot of people, as Davey is saying right here, Halloween Kills is definitely probably the one where a lot of people have some issues with it, and that's totally fine. It's kind of the middle movie right here. But has anyone seen this trilogy? It took me a long time, but I finally eventually got to it. Still a fan of the Halloween films in general. I love that stuff, and it's just a lot of fun. But as everyone sees, Sam says Halloween Ends is a dumpster fire. I'm sure I will love the trilogy, ironically, in years to come. Of course, that's how it goes. All right, so let's move on to some more horror films. As I'm watching this, let's talk into some monster movies here. Let's do that first two. First one is one that just recently got announced and released. It's Jaws 2. Right here. It's the 45th anniversary edition. I don't know why we didn't wait till the 50th, but, who knows how long 4K is going to be around. Anyway, so this is Roy Scheider's in this again. And then we have Lorraine Gary and Murray Hamilton in it, who are reprising all their roles in the second Jaws. It's a fun movie. It's definitely a fun movie to watch during the summer, of course. Wasn't anything too special, but I had a really good time with it nonetheless. And I love the cover, as much as it can be. And yeah, I don't know. It's still fun. There's more, it's a shark in the water and everyone's terrified of it. They try to relive and recapture everything that's going on, of course. But I mean, it's a fine movie. It's not great or anything like that, but it's definitely a fun watch to nonetheless. So definitely recommend people to watch it if you've seen Jaws 2. So yeah. All right, so moving on from there, I have another 4K. This one actually is from Vinegar Syndrome, and it's a really nice box set. It's Ticks, which I had a really good time with. I'm Infested. What a iconic and lovely cover, right? But no, this is such a fun film. There it is. I love that cover here. And then there is the other cover. So it's a really cool release right here. Lots of special features as normal from Vinegar Syndrome. But yeah, Ticks was a lot of fun. It was just a nice, fun creature flick where people made really dumb mistakes and just kept looking around and seeing very obvious traps and bugs littered everywhere. And then, getting attacked, constantly. You know how dumb teenagers are. And it's a very weird collection of people. How they all get together, it's like therapy, I think. And so they're all coming together from homes that they're not welcome at. So it's like they're trying to get together with the counselors and trying to it's like a halfway house of some sort. But eventually Ticks came out and a lot of shit happens. So that's exactly what this is. But yeah, Ticks is a lot of fun. It's a fun 4K. It looks nice. Jumping back in here a little bit. Kills is The Evil Dies Tonight, Pitchfork Mob Nonsense. Hopefully, Pitchfork, you're not talking about the music, of course, right? Davey also says, don't care for Jaws too much. Turns the shark into a slasher villain. Jaws of Revenge, that's the camp fun sequel. Yeah, I need to watch more Jaws sequels. I haven't seen any of them besides the second one. So, why sell Jaws 2 once? 50th when you sell it twice. Oh, that's true. That's true. That's how they do it. I forgot. I'm not somebody who sells people things, right? Cinema Dave says, nice Vinegar Syndrome release. That's for Ticks. Ticks is great. Skip Jaws 3. It's boring. Gotcha. Okay, some more horror films real quick, and then we'll jump into another giveaway. We'll do these ones first. First is actually a movie that I really enjoyed. I think this came out 2022. My years are skewed a lot now. I am almost certain it came out in 2022. It's Smile, right here. Amazon dinged the hell out of this package, but 4K is fine. Really fun film. I really enjoyed Smile. It's a really great concept, and I love the ending of this movie quite a bit. It's definitely really brutal in some parts. So it's a fun movie. It's definitely one of the better kind of modern horror films that's going out right now, at least in terms of, the films that, around this time periods that are not A24, right? Related or like Blumhouse related. So, it's just a fun movie. I think people should check out Smile if they've not seen it. And it's got a really great ending. Really love the ending. Next is a movie that I've been avoiding, or at least been trying to figure out a good time to watch this movie. And I knew this was going to somehow get to me a little bit, and it did. And a lot of people are very divisive about this movie. And I'm talking about Skinamarink right here. I got the Shudder film. You can watch this right now on Shudder. A lot of people either love it or hate it. I'm kind of in the love it camp. It's not a waste of my time. I really enjoyed the atmosphere of this film, the way it's filmed, and the things that are kind of not seen that are like in your head a little bit. I really enjoyed that kind of stuff. That's where my horror, it's, I don't know, it's something that just like gets me. It's stuff that you like. The scariest things are when you can't visually see something. And it brings back that childhood trauma of looking in the dark, or like being at a friend's house or something, and you're like not familiar with like this. You're sleeping over at a friend's house, and you don't know what's going on around you. It reminds me of those memories, and I didn't like that. So definitely enjoyed Skinamarink, but a lot of people don't like it, and I completely understand that. But I think it's a good time. So give it a chance. Watch it on Shudder. If you don't like it, that's totally understandable. So let's see. Caveman says, watching Jaws 2 for the first time for Sundays. Something is rotten in my collection. Nice, with Gizmo. That'll be fun. Davey loves Skinamarink. My vid got some hate comments. People went for that movie. Yeah, it really is a very divisive film. Either you love it or you don't like it. And that's just kind of how it goes. It looks like Goose is here. Hey, man. Hope you're doing well. Glad you're here as well. And we're going to talk about one more film, and then we're going to jump into another giveaway real quick. The next one is The Serpent and the Rainbow by Wes Craven. This is the Arrow Scream Factory. I don't know why I said that. Scream Factory edition of this movie. This is a wild movie filled with a shit ton of dream sequences that I really enjoyed. And I really like the iconography and very voodoo-esque thing, but at the same time, it's a very choppy movie, and there's not much going on in it per se. It's just a really fun movie to see, like, from this time period. I think it came out in the late 80s. 1987, which is my favorite, year for films. But yeah, Serpent and the Rainbow is just a fun film. I wouldn't say it's great at all, but it's definitely got some moments in it that I think are truly something to see visually. And I think that's what I enjoyed about watching this movie. So definitely enjoyed that. It looks like Ronnie's saying people either think Skinamarink is awful or is the scariest thing they've ever seen. It's true. I'm in the latter camp. Bill Pullman was a bit miscast. Oh, absolutely. Speaking of Spaceballs, and I'm bringing up Bill Pullman again. I watched 2 Bill Pullman movies in this month. That's a weird thing that I did. But anywho, gonna get some beer, and then we're gonna jump into another little question for all of you for a live giveaway. Okay. So this next question, we have one more digital code, and we actually have physical movies that I'm going to be giving out. So be sure to get ready for that. So this next one is a code for The Lost Boys. the great 1987 film right here. I just got the 4K, so I don't need this digital download. So if you want if you want the Lost Boys, this is what the question is going to be. So, all right. So here's the question for everyone getting ready to get the Lost Boys. What Olympics did the Chariots that cannot talk? What Olympics? Apparently, the beer is getting me. What Olympics did Chariots of Fire depict? So, if you've seen the movie Chariots of Fire, what year was that Olympics? Let me know in the comment section, in the chat section, where I'm pointing. But Chariots of Fire. What year Olympics did that depict? Is what this next question is for Lost Boys. I'll have another beer. All right, so while everyone is looking that up, which, 1 BC. Well, caveman always thinks about that time period. Looks like Davey has got it and says 1924, the great Eric Liddell games, but I don't like Lost Boys, of course. I'm going to have to be just giving away these things. The only person who's getting anything, looks like so far, is Steve, apparently. So anyway, I'll be giving away these codes here kind of at the end for just round robin for everybody. So it looks like Sam says, "Go home, Nathan. You're drunk." I am home and I am drunk. No, I'm just kidding. I've had barely any drinks, so this does not affect me that much. I need at least 3 more of those things to get drunk. I just, normally I'm not on a live stream, so it's a little bit more nerve wracking because I'm just talking to myself and interacting with you in the comment section. So that's where I'm a little bit more nervous about things. Okay, so we have a few more films to talk about, and then we're going to jump into more questions. I hope you guys can have some questions for me while we jump into this. Some more horror films. I won't talk about that one just yet because I just watched that a couple days ago. But I did. It's the middle of the summer when I watched this, of course. So I had to watch both of these movies. One's the first time watch, and the other one is not. But as you probably see, it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I've seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre quite a few times. In fact, it's still really disturbing. It's got some cheesy moments, but honestly, I just love Tobe Hooper's vision of this film. And this is a great freaking release. Like, this is one of the best releases of the year, hands down. Wow. Second Sight's doing unreal things right now. So honestly, I'm very excited for the Ginger Snaps trilogy. I haven't pre-ordered it yet because, like I said, I haven't bought anything in 3 weeks. I haven't even pre-ordered anything. So yes, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is stacked to the brim with special features. It's got like 5 audio commentaries, I think. It's insane. Anyway, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Watch this movie, for the love of God. Second one, a little bit of a story with this one. For the longest time, I knew this was a horror comedy of sorts, and I didn't really like that going from that film that we just mentioned before to this. I didn't like that transition. It was really kind of messed with me, and I didn't really want to watch this movie for the longest time because of that. So that's kind of where my mindset was for the longest time. Eventually, Vinegar Syndrome put this out with a really stellar release. I think this came out last year. But wow, everyone kept talking about it. They kept talking about how good this release was and how much fun this is. So a lot of people really love this movie. And I watched it. I had a good time. I'm still kind of in the weird middle camp where I'm like, I want to love it, like a lot, but I think I just like it. Eventually, I will get that stick up my ass out, and I'll probably enjoy this later. That's kind of where my mindset is on this. So, yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, fun movie, really enjoyed it, but I don't love it just yet. I'll get there eventually. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, do love that movie. Going back, go home, Nathan, you're drunk. We want the physical. Yes, definitely want the physical. That's coming up soon, Ronnie. Ian Charleston and Ben Cross should have been massive after Chariots. Yeah, fun fact about Chariots of Fire. I know I brought that question up, but I've never seen it. I have it, but I haven't seen it yet. So, oops, I didn't even know what 1924 was. So, Davey has a question. What was Corey Feldman's gruff voice in Lost Boys? He was just some kind of Corey Frogman, right? He was doing some kind of frog thing. I don't know what his gruff voice in Lost Boys was about. It looks like it's an early adaptation of what Christian Bale did later in Batman, right? Film blogger Sam says, Lost Boys is a part of my DNA. If you don't like it, Davey, we need to reassess our friendship. I agree. You need to figure that out. It's between you and Davey and Sam. You got to figure it out. TCM will be on the list. Sorry, Sam, but you don't even like Chopper. Oh, no. Now we're getting into other things. Goose says, not an easy task at all to take a break from buying stuff. Well done on going 3 weeks without anything new. I appreciate that, Goose. I really do. It's been difficult because there's a lot of things that I've been wanting to at least pre-order and pick up. But anyway, the thing is, I just, I'll get there eventually. I just need to make the house, at peace at first and go from there. So looks like Dave has to head out, but great live stream. All the best to you, Nathan. Hope you have a great weekend as well as you, sir. It's good seeing you. And it's good seeing you with Steph over at your live stream every Saturday. So if you haven't checked out Cinema Dave every Saturday, I was going to say Movie Chatter and him and Dave. They both do a live stream on Saturdays. It's a lot of fun. It's always good to see them. So looks like Davey says, love TCM2. You can't do it better, the first better, so you got to go Gonzo. That's true. Chop Top rules. Yeah, he's wild in that film. Okay, we're almost there. Chopper is mid-tier forgettable. It's a forgettable, blah, blah, blah. Hey, and then Braden, my friend here. Braden, big dog, good to see you, man. Hey, it's good seeing you. I'll see you soon, I'm sure. Okay, so before we jump into the last bit of films that I have been watching, let us do another giveaway. And this time it is for the Blu-ray of The Maltese Falcon right here. Humphrey Bogart, Mary Astor, yes. So if anyone wants the Maltese Falcon on Blu-ray, I know the 4K just came out, and that's actually kind of why I'm upgrading. I'm trying to, want to pass this on to somebody, and it's a great, great film from the 40s. So definitely recommend people on picking this up. So get ready for the question for this one. This will be the giveaway for this one. And then whoever wins this, just message me on Instagram with that. So that way we can go. Okay, so question number 5. In the movie In Bruges, which I know a lot of you know I love so much, what famous Belfast actor appeared uncredited near the end of the film? So in Bruges, what famous Belfast actor appeared uncredited near the end of the movie? This one's a little bit tougher to get. So if you're a big fan of In Bruges like me, you already know the answer, but that's where we're going to wait. So we're going to wait for that one and go from there. And whoever wins that is going to win the Maltese Falcon. Like the actual, I'm not going to show it on camera. I have the actual Maltese Falcon somewhere else. I just don't want to show that because obviously somebody will come to my house and take it, of course. Okay. Davey says Peter Lorre and Sidney Greenstreet are so good together in the Maltese Falcon. They're fantastic. It's been a while, so I'm excited to see the 4K and what that comes up with. Davey is just really quick on it. Your man, Karen. Yeah, it's Karen, right? That's how you say his. I always say it wrong. Kieran Hines. Yeah, Kieran. Here, Kieran. Duh. Ronnie, Kieran Hines. You're correct. Yes. So, Ronnie, I'm going to be messaging you, and we'll get the Maltese Falcon if that's okay with you. If you want that film. Good job on that one. Kieran Hines, fantastic actor. Love him in pretty much every show I've watched him in movies. Really, really fantastic. Love that guy. Really great actor. Anywho, yeah, he's uncredited in that film. So Brian's here. Hey, I picked up Maltese Falcon up a few months ago to watch for the first time. Yeah, it's a great movie. Caveman keeps telling me to watch Ice Pirates. I'll eventually watch it. Yes, I will watch it. All right, so before we get into the last and final bit of a giveaway, we have a few more movies to talk about. So these ones are just kind of oddballs. There's a couple horror movies as well. Some of these movies I've actually watched multiple times. I just rewatched it for the first time. Okay, so the first movie I want to talk about is the Amityville Horror, which I actually just watched for the first time. Wow, what a wild movie. James Brolin's in it. Of course, Josh Brolin's dad. Margot Kidder is in it, who's fantastic as well. She's great. And Ross Steiger. So really great cast, really great people in this. I don't know about great people, but great cast. Anywho, yeah, Amityville Horror. This is from Vinegar Syndrome. Lots of flies and the cross on the wall. It's a very cheesy movie, but at the same time, this is actually the only Amityville horror film that I've seen. I know there's like 20 something of them. I don't know how many there are. But it's a fun movie. It's not great. It's not amazing. But it's definitely fun. That's for sure. And I love this kind of stuff anyway. Even if it's cheesy, even if it comes out that way, it's a fun movie nonetheless. And there's some really great stuff and some fun scares actually in this movie too. So, although Davey says Amityville is so overrated, Steiger is massively OTT. That's true. That's true. Next is a fantasy film. Actually, I'm going to talk about two fantasy films real quick. The first is Dragon Slayer, which is out on 4K. Great cover, first of all. Love that cover. What a fantastic, fun film. 1981. I was trying to figure out what year that came out. I actually have never seen this movie before, so it was a really good time to watch this. And they did a really great job of putting this movie out for some reason, like on 4K. Like I feel like this was just like a random release on 4K, and they did a really fantastic job with it too. And it just got me nostalgic for a lot of the early 80s movies that I watched when I was a kid. So it's surprising that I never watched this before. So Dragon Slayer was a lot of fun. It's got a really great bit of special effects, even though it's very cheesy. Of course, it's from the 80s. A lot of stop motion and kind of cheap special effects. But regardless, it's a fun movie. And Dragon Slayer is really cool. Yeah, who doesn't want to be a Dragon Slayer? Looks like Davey says James Brolin was cast as Bond. We won a Matt Hell watch, and then they decided to go back with Roger Moore. Yep. Yeah, I was going to say, I like Roger Moore. I know he's not loved much by Bond, but I enjoyed him. Looks like Brian says, I picked up Dragon Slayer this year, too. I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. Okay, well, nice. Yeah, I'm glad that you're able to pick it up. All right, so 3 more films to talk about, and then we'll jump into the last one. First is another one that Sam and Chris and Elliot were all talking about with me. It's Son of the White Mare. So this is out on Eureka. Wow, what a crazy animated film. So it's from a Hungarian animator, Marcel Jankovic. I'm probably saying their name wrong, but it's a folk tale. It's a psychedelic folk tale. The animation is absolutely batshit. It's one of my favorite things that I had seen this year, probably. I just need to rewatch it because it's a lot to see. It's a visually stunning movie. And honestly, there's just a lot of really fantastical things going on in the movie. And there's a lot of really great special features that I've actually still have yet to dive into everything in here. There's a lot of short films from Marcel. So I'm very, very excited about this movie, and it's just wild. It's a wild movie, and I definitely recommend it for people who are just fans of animation and just fans of exploring these kind of things. So Rika, really great job with this one. And then the last 2 films I want to talk about are actually movies that I've seen before, A24 films, but I finally watched them in the books that there are. So first is The Green Knight right here. The Green Knight on A24's big storybook right here. It was really great to see this on 4K again and revisit this movie, this Arthurian tale. It's a very different Arthurian tale. David Lowery did this film. And in fact, I'm a big David Lowery fan. And I really love this movie as well. This is also a divisive movie. I think a lot of people either loved it or they didn't like it at all. But I really enjoyed this tale of this film. And I really enjoyed kind of the dark humor that's going on in this movie. And there's almost like some nods to the audience that I think a lot of people don't think catch on the first go around when they watch this movie. It's a very fun movie. There's a lot of stuff going on. Visually, it's also really stunning too. It's a really great 4K. This looks gorgeous. Looks like really, really good. But yeah, big fan of David Lowery and this film. Now I'm jumping into here. Ronnie says, speaking of Hungarian animation, I was just watched The Heroic Times and it was incredible. Still need to pick that one up myself. Hugh says, I keep toying with buying that A24 version of The Green Knight. Maybe the best looking film I've ever seen. It really is one of the best movies, visually, that I've seen in a long time. I wouldn't say ever, but it's visually very stunning. It's a really great movie. Okay. And then the last movie I want to talk about, because it was the middle of the summer, and this summer has been a shitty summer. Like, it's been so freaking hot everywhere. And also, it's just, it's been a horrifying summer. So let's talk about one more horror film. I finally watched the director's cut of Midsommar. I hadn't seen the director's cut. I know it added quite a bit as well. But man, what a fantastic film from Ari Aster. Of course, I saw this when it came out. And not shortly after this came out, I actually left for China. So that feels like like a lifetime ago. But yeah, this is just a fantastic film. And I highly recommend people pick this version up on 4K from A24 site. It's definitely one that, if you like folk horror or like just things like that, I think you're going to really enjoy it. So anyway, definitely love this movie and highly recommend it. So we're at the hour mark here. So I'm jumping into the comment section. We'll do our last giveaway, and then we're going to be doing a couple more questions, because I want you guys to have some questions for me just about random things. So I'd love to talk to you about it. So it looks like Davey says, sort of Valiant 1984 is an odd version of the Green Knight 2. Sean Connery. I can't do it. So apparently I'm losing my voice because I've been talking so much. Dell's here, but he can't stay. He just wants to say what's up. What's up? Dell, really great guy. Go follow him. Glad we're going to be doing something very soon together again. He was just on my channel for a film journey not too long ago. So, and then Caveman says Roger Moore was my favorite, my age Bond. First Bond was For Your Eyes Only. Guessing being a 92 model, your Bond is a Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, Pierce Brosnan definitely was my Pierce Brosnan, because of course I watched GoldenEye, played GoldenEye, and then kind of jumped in from there. But I went backwards, of course, and watched Sean Connery, George Lazenby, Roger Moore, of course, and Timothy Dalton, and then jumped from there. And I'm a big I like Bond, and so I grew up with it quite a bit. So it's a lot of stuff that my dad and I have some good memories of. I used to have all the VHSs. I don't think I have them anymore, but fun stuff. Let's see here. Davey says Ari rules. I know people were mixed on Beau Was Afraid. That's another movie I haven't seen yet. Yikes. Still haven't seen it yet. Need to get to there. And then Brian says, I've been thinking about Midsommar release. I like the soundtrack, especially Fire Temple. The soundtrack is really good. Overall, I think it's a very well-crafted film. And I really love the extended version of it too, the director's cut. It's really great. Tim Dalton is Bond. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so last giveaway and last question. Okay, so no cheating either when you look into this one for this. I'll be giving away Radiance film Red Sun right here. Still packaged too. I got this in my my release when I bought the half the year special. So this came out, and I actually already had a copy. So that's just how that goes. But yeah, this is from Radiance Films. This is Spy Number 6, Red Sun. If you like Godard, I think you're going to like something like this. It's a little bit more all over the place, a little bit different, but it's a great German film. So I think you can watch this. So here's the question for this one. So Ronnie, you are eligible, but let's see if anyone answers it real quick. So we'll go from there. So okay, so this is my next question, and you cannot cheat on this. If you know me, you can guess this pretty easily, but it's one of my favorite films. Okay, so if you know me, you might be able to guess this quick, but it's also hard because it's a spy number question. Okay, so the question is, what is spy number 858 in the Criterion Collection? 858. Like I said, no cheating. I know you're probably going to cheat. I got to figure it out on the keyboards. But spy number 858. Davey, do not answer this. I will kill you if you do that. For somebody else, 858 in the Criterion Collection will get Red Sun. Rote Sonne, I think is how you say it in German. I know that because of Rammstein, which, speaking of them, they're controversial right now. So maybe I shouldn't talk about them. Anyway. Spy number 858. What is that one? You get Rote Sonne. Get that? Waiting. We're almost there. I have Red Sun, but I don't have a spy number memorization. You should. dude. You should. All right. So as we wait for spine number 858, let's jump into some questions. If you guys have any questions for me, Ronnie wants to guess if that's okay. Oh, Goose has 857, but not 858. Interesting. Um, interesting. I'm actually going to double check here. Barry Lyndon? No, it's not Barry Lyndon. Um, I'm double checking now because I want. Okay, where is it at? Okay, I guessed it right. Okay, I know where it's at. So does anyone guess it? Oh, Caveman got it before sunset. There it is. Yep. So Davey said before question mark. So Caveman, you got before sunset. Yes. So if you want wrote this on, you can just message me on Instagram if that's the case. If that's what you want. If anything, you and Ronnie can trade. I don't know how you want to do this. If you want whoever wants Maltese Falcon, whoever wants wrote this on, you can figure it out. If you want, I'll comment between the two of you, and then I'll go from there. Okay. So now let's jump into kind of some things that have been going on, right? Ronnie's open for either or. So yeah, give me some questions. What's on your mind here? And tell me, ask some things. I don't know what I'm talking about. Apparently, I am drunk. But yeah, no, I have a couple more things I want to do before we end this. This live stream here, and before we jump out for the day for Saturday. What's everyone doing for your Saturday for the long weekend? At least if you're in Canada and the States, it is Labor Day on Monday, so extended weekend here. So I'm excited to go watch the 2001: A Space Odyssey at the Alamo Drafthouse. That'll be really fun. Also going to be watching. I'm going to be watching the Bottoms, which seems like the female fight club, like a high school super bad fight club. I don't know how to describe it, but Bottoms looks fun. I'll be watching that tomorrow. So that'll be really fun. So it's going to be excited. So I've been actually picking up more theater. Like I've been going to the theater actually a lot more. So I've been trying to go every Sunday to the theater. That's something that I used to do before the pandemic. I used to go a couple times a week. It took me a couple years to actually just get back in that rhythm. So that's something that I've been wanting to do lately since life has been very, very difficult lately, just with a lot of things going on. It's also the less time I spend here with this chaotic mess that is my house right now, the better for my mental health. So, because there's just way too many things in everywhere and every corner. So, anyway, going back to this, you says devastated that my Before trilogy is out of order. It is out of order, which is unfortunate. I think mine's around here somewhere. I don't know where it's at. Davey says Maltese Falcon's better than Red Sun. Of course it is. But Red Sun's still a fun movie to at least explore. Caveman says have Maltese Falcon Steelbook. So I'll send over Road to San to you, Caveman, and then I'll send over Maltese Falcon to Ronnie. Ronnie says, I know you're into metal, but are you also into punk / post-punk indie bands? I am into those genres. I couldn't name too many off the top of my head. I mean, like things like Coheed and Cambria, Hail the Sun, those types of things that I enjoy. That's like the post-punk kind of indie progressive metal. I don't know. There's a lot of those things that I enjoy. There's a lot of genres that I'm trying to just think about in that realm. But usually I prefer post-punk. There's a lot of like post-punk / hardcore bands that I really like right now. Turnstile is really good. They just have, some film, like the music, it just reminds me kind of just like beach rock, like yacht rock, but like in a hardcore style. Drain's really fun. They're a hardcore band. Honestly, hardcore is definitely kind of more the other realm that I enjoy. But I definitely prefer post-punk and like the umbrellas that a lot of that is under. Things like I'm trying to even like just picture things because I don't want to mislabel a lot of these things. It's not the genres that I know too well, so I don't want to misgenre it per se. But I enjoy pretty much every type of music. So definitely want to jump into more music talk. So so bring that out of me more as we talk. I've been in a movie mindset right now. Looks like Brian has been working on the Shaw Brothers Volume 2. I still have most of those movies to watch. I'm in the middle of that myself. It's stuff that I need to get to. It's just I just kind of I enjoyed it for like a good period, and then all of a sudden, my mind kind of switched halfway through it, and I just need to jump back into Shaw Brothers, honestly. It says, okay, best film in those indicator hammer sets, and why is it Cash on Demand or Captain Clegg? Now, those are fantastic records. I really like Don't Take Sweets from a Stranger. That Volume 2 set from Indicator, the hammer sets, is really, really good. Cash on Demand's also in that set. Volume 6, Night Shadows, is where Captain Clegg's at. That's a lot of fun, too. Night Creatures. It's just... Yeah, there's a lot of really good Hammer films, but Volume 2 and Volume 6 are the ones that I definitely recommend people check out if they've never seen any Hammer films. Volume 1's also good. I really love The Gorgon. It's one of my favorite movies with Christopher Lee in it. I really love that film. Caveman says, how goes the movie Closet Dry Out Redo? It's still in preparation. Most of the interior of that room is kind of done yet. I think that all that's left is like redoing the carpet and then some drying of some paint. So, but for the most part, it's almost back together. Almost. There's still roof stuff that needs to be done, which is not great. Okay. Goose says, I've been going to the cinema more as well. I just bought a Curzon membership. Man, I'm just jealous that you guys have that chain up there in the UK, which makes it much cheaper. Which film are you most looking forward to in the next month? It's hard to say. I mean, like I said, I have Bottoms as like the next movie I'm watching that's modern. But actually, I've been watching a lot of movies that have been coming out. I watched Talk to Me, which I really, really loved. I think that's a really great A24 indie film, made by two brothers. Really, really good. I loved it. And then I also really enjoyed the new Mission Impossible film, which got overshadowed by Barbenheimer, which I watched both of those films as well. And I really loved all of that. Like, honestly, all of those things were really great times. It's been a really great, and like the only thing this month that's been good is going to the cinema. Let's just say that for me. There's been some fun stuff going on. There's also like The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which is really fun. It's not a good movie, but it's really fun regardless. It reminds me of like Van Helsing back from the early 2000s days, which I really enjoy as well. Davey says post-punk over punk. I definitely agree with that a little bit. Punk is not really necessarily my scene, but post-punk I definitely like a little bit more. Hardcore yacht rock sounds epic. It's a bunch of people on like boats, just pretty much throwing fists in the air and just doing this, and then falling into the water, right? Caveman asks, do I like complaint rock like Bush, 7 Married 3, or Collective Soul? I'm kind of iffy about that stuff. Weirdly enough, a lot of the 90s like alternative rock and things in that kind of ilk aren't really my thing as much. In the 90s, like my favorite things from the 90s are death metal, hip hop, and I would say trip hop is really, really good. And then a lot of pop from the 90s, like Destiny's Child, even like Bjork. I really like Massive Attack, things like that. That's where a lot of my 90s love comes from. It's less in the rock side of things, which is weird. And then, like I said, hip hop, like Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Nas, Wu-Tang, things like that. I really, really love. And then I'm trying to think of other 90s bands I really enjoy. Slow Dive. So if you like, they actually just put out a new album. Slow Dive is really great. They're really fun to listen to and just chill out to. So 90s is a weird time for me, but it's weird to say like a lot of those bands aren't really on my radar as much. But there's that. So anyway, Ronnie says, I'm excited about Criterion adding all of Hal Hartley's movie films this month on the channel. Have you seen any of his films? I can't say outright. I'd have to look it over if I have, but I recognize the name, that's for sure. And honestly, it's weird because I haven't had the Criterion channel for a bit now. I have that metal plastic card from some time ago when it got launched. But yeah, it's actually been a while because I just haven't been interested in using on the channel. I have a lot of movies to watch, right? So trying my best to do, and I don't want to spend as much money as I can. So I've actually been cutting a lot of streaming services. That was one of them that I cut away. Davey says Volume 4 is the best for Hammer's newbies. I think you get some Frankenstein, Taste of Fear, The Damned. Volume 4 is really good too. I definitely agree with that. Hello. Davey says, Talk to Me, but loved Cobweb. I don't know about Cobweb. But anywho, Brian says, caught TMNT, which is very interesting animation style. It actually had some Shaw Brothers clips in the montage. Ooh, okay. Very excited about that because I definitely want to, watch that movie. That was one that I was gonna watch that or Bottoms this weekend. So I'll definitely catch TMNT soon. So that I know I like the animation because I think it's the same people who did Spider-Verse, right? I might be wrong. I feel like I'm wrong. Have I watched the Mandarin cut of The Big Boss? I have not. I still have not watched Bruce Lee yet. Have not been in the Kung Fu martial arts mindset lately. I don't know why. I've been kind of all over the place watching, as you saw all the films that I've just recently watched. I've been watching a lot of nostalgic films that I've watched from my past, and then also a lot of horror movies and just various kind of as I feel. I don't know why I don't know what Cobweb is. I don't know why it's like just blanking in my mind. Please don't delete me. Well, I call it complaint rock for a reason. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I get what you're saying. That's complaint rock. I see what you're saying. Yes. That also might be another reason why I don't really listen to that stuff because it does seem a little complainy. So, yeah, you definitely caught me on that one a little bit. So, yeah, that's funny. I'm really looking forward to the Bottoms. Have heard great things. Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. I've heard great things too. Yeah, but now I'm excited to go back to the theaters. We're excited to get this back into the new room. I'll definitely be filming some things for everybody as that's happening. I'll try to jump back into kind of the things that I've been doing. This has really thrown me off my YouTube schedule where I've been trying to record like a couple of videos every week and trying to find the time with that, but it's just been really difficult with like the living space, and then also just like with work, and then there's just a lot of things going on that are outside factors that are just kind of hindering me from being productive with this. When I want to come home, I just want to relax or watch a movie or read or something, and that's kind of what I've been doing lately. So it's been more that. So hopefully with my room almost complete, and then there's also the roofing process, which I don't know how that's going to affect filming because obviously it's going to be loud when that happens. So who knows when that'll happen. I might have to just try to plan in advance, which is actually how you're supposed to do it in YouTube. It's, plan very far in advance. But sometimes I just I have a little bit of a whimsical kind of like, that's what I want to do, and then I'll do it. So anyway, I'll dig Cobweb. I hope so. Brian says he caught The Flash and D&D Honor Amongst Thieves. D&D, really fun movie. Really, really fun. They captured D&D like playing a game of D&D really, really well. Bunch of bumbling idiots. Really, really, really good capture of that, because that's what D&D players are. They just make really dumb mistakes all the time. So I think they did a good job on that. I still haven't seen The Flash yet, though. Been wanting to do that. You're supposed to plan YouTube. Davey, you and I both are not planners much on that. So unless it's like some kind of series or something, right? Okay. Caveman says, Nathan, you do you always. We will always be here for you whenever you are. I appreciate that, man. Really do. I've been thinking a lot about all of you who watching this and people who check this out like later on. I just feel like I've been letting a lot of people down lately. So that's just not what I plan on doing. Just life happens, of course. And I know that keeps happening. Like there's cycles, right? People go through cycles for things. So it's just been a lot, so yeah, very stressful, a lot of anxiety going on, but I'm getting back to it. Hopefully this live stream will kick back, me coming back into the fold of doing this. And so it's a lot of fun being on YouTube and interacting with all of you. So speaking of interacting on YouTube, here's Ken. Mid-level media. How are you doing, man? It's been a bit since I've seen you. I've been meaning to reach out to you. I've been wanting to try to join in a live stream sometime soon. So hopefully that can happen. But anywho, yeah, does anyone have any further questions? Like, we're going to probably cut this here in the next 10 minutes, kind of cut out an hour and a half. But yeah, any other kind of questions going on with any things you're curious about going on with the things I enjoy, or what you guys are doing? Because I'd love to know kind of what you plan on doing this weekend, and what your upcoming plans are, like what you're going to be buying, for the months of October, November, December, that kind of stuff. I would be kind of curious to see kind of what everyone is doing. Be fun to see that. So, you're supposed to balance these things, right? Between water and beer, right? You're supposed to go back and forth, right? I think that's how it goes. At least I'm not as unhinged as my buddy Chris. If anyone knows Chris Hurtado, he's a I don't know how to describe him, but anyway, he's an old friend of the channel. He used to be on here a lot with me. He's up in Chicago now. I'm actually going to go see him soon, which I'm excited about. Going up to Chicago, I'll be filming some of that as well. So really excited to go, up to Chicago. Actually, I'll tell you kind of about some of the plans later on this year. I have a couple plans, traveling plans, where I'll be going to Chicago, of course, for a few days in October. That'll be a lot of fun. Very excited about that because I love Chicago. It's like one of my favorite cities in the Midwest, period. And then the other thing is I'm going to be going to Denver soon in December. So, of course, Colorado in December, it's going to be very cold. But that'll be for a concert, actually. I'm going with an old friend of mine. We're actually going to a big festival over there, a Metal and Beer Fest is what it's called. So I'm excited to see some metal bands. A lot of them I haven't seen. I think I've only seen 2 bands out of like the 12. Maybe there's like 14. Yeah, I've seen like 2 bands out of the 14 bands there. So I'm very excited to check that out and go from there. I've actually been to a lot of concerts. So this will be probably my like 8th or 9th concert to go to this year. I've been to a lot. So I used to actually bartend as well and work on a lot of work at venues as well, bartending. So anyway, that's other stuff too, right? Let's see. Steve says that's a tall drink of water. Yes, it is. As you can see, it's huge. It's almost as big as my head. So, but it's good. Caveman said, "Did I see you travel in an RV during your trip?" No, I don't have an RV. I don't travel in an RV. Are you talking about my trip to Canada that I was in recently? I did recently go to Canada. That was actually one of the best parts of August. I was able to be up in Canada for about a month, or no, for about a week. My bad. And yeah, I had a really good time. It was much better climate there, and also just a lot more things to like unwind there that I enjoyed. Like just the scenic side of it all was like BC is just gorgeous. Like it's just stupid beautiful over there, and it's expensive as hell. And I was able to meet some friends. And my best friend lives up there, so it was really good to see him. Yeah, so plan on going. I went to Vancouver and Prince George up in British Columbia recently. I'll be going to Chicago soon and Denver in Colorado. Yeah, so that's kind of that's the rest of the year kind of plans. I'm sure I'll go to Kansas City, see my buddy KB and Ryan and the like. So I'm sure I'll be doing that too sometime this upcoming year. So also probably, Columbia, Missouri, where my friend Daniel Cobwebs, who also has a really great channel as well. I'll probably see him soon too. But anyway, looks like other ones. Ronnie saying, I'm really happy Peacock is releasing Poker Face Season 1 on Blu-ray this month. I've never seen that, and I don't really know much about it. So, but I guess it's a recent favorite show, so that's cool. I've been wanting to do that, see that. I haven't gotten into Peacock ever, so I need to do that. Goose says I've been thinking about doing some traveling recently, and if I come to the U.S., I'm absolutely timing it with the next Criterion sale. Definitely do that. And if you're in Missouri, which I doubt, that's not a destination per se. If you're coming from the UK, is going to the very middle of the country. Like that's where Missouri's at. Like we're dead center pretty much in there. So there's that. But yes, pick up Criterions when you're over here.
Caveman says we have a weekend rock fest in September, Louisville, 24 bands in 48 hours. That's insane. And also, I didn't mention when I am going to this festival in Colorado, it's not like a normal festival. It's like, it's an intimate venue, right? There's probably like two stages, right? There's probably an upstairs, downstairs kind of thing. And that's the way I like venues. I do not want to be out in a giant field, like there's like hundreds of people, hundreds and thousands of people out and about, and I'm really far away from the stage. I don't like that. I like being near the stage, but away from the mosh pit because I'm way too old for the mosh pit. So that's how I envision my festivals and my concerts I go to. So I've actually never been to a Mayhem Festival was probably the biggest festival I've ever been to, which was like a big stadium kind of festival. But yeah, way too far. There's like lawn seats and stuff. I don't like that stuff. I don't like it. I also just don't like being outside sweating, all that, even though it's December in Colorado. Anyway, I'm rambling. Ronnie says I'm seeing Ted Leo in the Pharmacists play this week. I can't wait. I do not know that artist, so I need to check that out. KB says anytime. Well, yes, I'm definitely going to be hitting you up soon. Yeah, for sure, to come visit you guys. So Brian says got to drop. Thanks for the live stream. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. It's good seeing you. And then Caveman says Poker Face is a great show. Thought it was on Paramount. And then they're just talking about that. So yeah, Caveman saying great stream. Be well. It's good seeing you. Okay, as we're ending this, I did some giveaways earlier on, but of course, we have some. I'm gonna just give away these codes real quick. I know I had Dr. Strange kind of set out for someone else, but here we go. So there's the Lost Boys for anybody. If anyone's curious about the Lost Boys, if anyone wants to screenshot this or write it down, I'm going to be doing that real quick. And then going from there, we're going to Predator. So if anyone wants that will also be there for anybody to enjoy for themselves. And then we have last but not least 1917. So if anyone wants that, there's that. So of course you can pause the video and decipher the letters. And then I'm going to be throwing these away. So if anyone wants any of these, I'll also, just message me on Instagram and I'll be sure to give it away. And then Ronnie and K-Man, I will be, getting the information from you both. And I'll be sending these out to you both. So, and then also be giving away Doctor Strange very shortly as well. Let's see. Of course, as we're finishing this up, Steve, I'm going to be giving this to you. So, anyway, anyone have any final questions before we leave, or as we're just heading out soon? I hope everyone enjoys their weekend. Looks like Goose says once you hit 30, and the mosh pit damage comes from sleeping weirdly, bending over to pick up washing, or some washing, or maybe violently sneezing. Yes, that's very true. Honestly, doing this for an hour in this chair, my back's killing me already. So that's how life works, right? We just get old and shambly, right? I guess I need to exercise. Probably not with this beer, but anyway, I want to say thank you all so much for stopping by this live stream. I really enjoyed interacting with all of you, showing you kind of what I've been doing for the last month and a half. I know it's been a very chaotic one. It's not one that I really had planned. Of course, that's how life is, right? But I really appreciate all of you for stopping by. I really appreciate all of you for interacting with me and keeping up with me. I know it's a lot because I feel like I'm, up and down on a lot of things. And I definitely don't want to disappoint anybody in terms of, my content or anything like that. So always want to, do what's best for me and then also for the community. So I really hope everyone enjoyed this live stream, and hopefully the setup will be, new sometime soon, where I can have a little bit of semblance of, some kind of stability. So, but anyway, I appreciate everyone for stopping by. Thanks again, Sia Mary, Skolder, and Steve saying goodbye to me. Appreciate everyone stopping by. I hope everyone enjoys their rest of their weekend. Hopefully it's an extended one if you are here in the States or in Canada, which apparently your Labor Day is the same day. I don't know. But anyway, I appreciate your time. And as always, I'm not jonesing around.